Whew.
It's Idiot Box Radio with your host, Tori.
Hey there, legends. Welcome to the show. This is Idiot Box Radio. My name's Tori, and I hope that you are super well. It's been so long since I last did a show, like a proper show, a show where I talk to you. So apologies in advance, though. I cannot be sorry. So much has changed. So much has changed since the last time I saw you, and I'm super glad to be here today. So I just thought I'd tell you what's going on in my personal life and give you a little bit of an update. Okay, so in September, which was the last time I really did anything, I've been just sort of putting out, little shorts and stuff like that. If you don't follow me and you want to, just go to idiotboxradio.com. You will see all the links there from that link, but not like Link in Zelda, just a link. Where do I begin? From the beginning. Okay, so basically for the last month and a bit, I haven't been very well, and that is because I had some surgery in October, I had some surgery in September to help me get control of my health. And so for the longest of times, if you have been a long time viewer and you know about the longest of times, then you would know that normally was a lot heavier than I am now. I've still got a ways to go, but I have lost a lot of weight. This is a bit of a weird one. It's not even a comedy thing, but if I think of something funny, I'll try to be funny. Also, you'll notice that I shaved off my beard. That was a recent thing. Just thought I'd keep a little bit of a fuzzy caterpillar there. But I had enough of being as large as I was, and I wasn't. This is quite some time ago. I'd had enough, but a lot of preparation has to go into it when you go about it this way. So basically, about a year and a bit ago, I went, enough's enough. I cannot do this. I need help. And so I started saving, and I booked for an operation called gastric bypass surgery. It's basically where they alter the way your stomach processes food and how much you can eat. And the whole process was quite scary, but I think I've come out the other side really well. But I'm going to tell you all about it regardless. So basically, the way the system works in Australia here, you got to something like this, generally, unless it's emergency, is considered a private health thing. And also because years ago I had done this to myself, some hard truths, but I'd also given myself type 2 diabetes from overeating. Alcohol was never really an issue for me. When I was younger, yes, but not for a very long time. Not for, 16 years. I'm 50 now, believe it or not. Since the last time I recorded something properly, I'm 50. That freaks me out. But there it is, 50. And yeah, I just hit this point where I finally thought enough's enough. If I don't do something here, like I've got people who care about me and I want to be here for them, and so I need to do something about this and get a little bit of help. So I booked in to see a surgeon, and I've spoken to him. He may appear as an interview at some stage on the show, not now though. And I just said to him, dude, what can we do here? And basically he said, yep, I can help you. You're good for this sort of surgery. The fact that you've got diabetes, we can help with that as well. And there was a whole process, including a lot of financial outlay. For those who are interested, because I had other bits and pieces I needed to get looked at before I could have the surgery, I was probably about $13,000 out of pocket, I think, by the time I was done with everything. But the end result is that on September the 26th, 2022, I went under the knife at the hospital, not like in a backyard sort of scenario, nor at the local butcher shop. I underwent surgery. And what they do with this bypass is they basically adjust where or how your stomach processes. So imagine your stomach's this big, right? They'll make it that big instead, probably smaller. They section it off, so they bypass most of your stomach. It's all done through keyhole surgery. So I had like 4 incisions and a drainage hole in my stomach. I've got little scars there now. And they section off that. They remove about 1 meter of intestine, and then they attach the rest of the intestine further up, and it bypasses. So when you eat, you can't take on as much. Now, the whole thing is you can fuck this up. You can fuck this up and you can wreck it for yourself. You can really hurt yourself too. So I think if you're considering this sort of surgery, I even went to a psychologist to make sure that I was mentally ready for it, because for me, food's comfort, well, it was. Yeah, it was. It's not now. Can't be. I'll explain that. So you have to make sure that you're ready for it, because you're going to remove something that you may really depend on. And if you're stronger, or, if you're not too far gone, you can do something about this. But my diabetes was bullshit, and I wasn't doing everything I could to fix it. I was a bad diabetic. And so I spoke to nutritionists, I spoke to psychologists, the surgeon multiple times to make sure this was for me. Then I waited for a year while I made sure that my private health would cover some of it, but like I said, I was still out of pocket for that amount. September 26th comes. I'm nervous as all get out. For the past 2 weeks prior to that, I had been on a very, very, very strict diet, having a lot of just diet shakes, protein shakes, very lean cuts of meat, very low carb vegetables, very, very hardcore diet, which ironically enough was so low in any sugars that for that period of time I didn't have to have any medication for diabetes, nor did I need to have any insulin, because I on occasion had to inject insulin. So that was great, and I was very, very happy with that. And so yeah, I was first off in the morning, went into the operating room where the anesthesiologist talk me through what he was doing, and I then went under the knife where they performed the operation. I woke up hours later and I had a drainage tube in my left side and just little bandages over the holes that were in me, and very groggily I was told to see if I could get up, which I could very gingerly. They have you totally hopped up. Apparently the pain, if you don't have access to pain meds, is excruciating. I don't take a lot of pain medication, like even for headaches and stuff. Not because I'm a hero, I just don't like pain medication. And so when I take any pain medication, it tends to work. And they were giving me a medication called Palexia, which knocked me on my ass. And so I was able to pretty much, as far as I can remember, get through not feeling a great deal of pain immediately after waking up from surgery, which was pretty awesome. Woke up in the recovery area where I was overnight from memory, and then I spent the night in recovery, was told that it was a success, that there were no issues, and that the surgeon was able to do the full bypass operation, not just parts of it, which sometimes they do. And then I was sent to the ward. Having a shower was weird with a drainage tube in me. I felt that a little bit, and the irony was you're only meant to be in hospital for 3 to maybe 4 days after this surgery, and then you go home. But one of my lungs collapsed during the surgery, and I ended up getting pneumonia, which made me extremely sick, and they gave me super strong antibiotics. But at the end of it all, I was in hospital for nearly 2 weeks with pneumonia and the surgery, and adjusting to the fact now I had a stomach really, really small, and basically it took days for me to go to the toilet. And every day it's sort of like, it's fucking annoying, but every day they're like, have you opened your bowels yet? I'm like, I can't even eat food. How am I going to shit? You very slowly start sipping stuff, but it's the weirdest thing about getting it rewired, and I'm sure this finishes in time. You can sort of feel everything go down. If you're a hooker, you wouldn't want to feel that, but I can feel like when I drink, I can feel it go down. I can actually feel it sometimes leave my stomach. Food, not so much. It just makes its way out gradually. But so I had the operation, and it's sort of weird. Some people's opinion is if you get this surgery, then you're cheating on having a diet. And I was thinking that too, and I felt a bit of guilt about it at first. I was like, surely there's another way, but I didn't want to have the diabetes anymore, and I don't. I've not had diabetes for 2 months, roughly, which means I've saved myself 72 injections and over 140 tablets, all located around the diabetes. So I was pretty thrilled about that, to be honest with you, hitherto and therefore. But the weight started coming off, which it's meant to. And if you're thinking of having this operation, I don't know, everyone has a different result. Mine has been really, really good, but basically the way it has worked for me is so far I've lost 21 kilograms. If I remember, I'll try to do the conversion for you so I can put pounds up on the screen. If I haven't, well, just look it up. 21 kilograms. So I was about 120 kilos by the time I went into hospital. For anyone who knew me, I put on a little bit of weight toward the end. I was eating a lot for comfort and not doing so well in my head, and eating, thinking that would fix it, and it just didn't. I had counselling about that. I had counselling about what to do when I'm sad and food's not available to me, and I'm not a drinker and I don't do drugs. Your choice if you do them, I just choose not to. So I had to find other ways of becoming happy again, and it's mainly involved walking, a lot of listening to music. So the weight started coming off, and it's been crazy. It's the strictest diet I've ever had to be on, far harder than anything I've ever tried to do in the past, even when I've got good results, because I want it to work. It was a lot of money, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, but so far so good. So I was 120 kilos and now I'm 99 or just over, maybe just under. I didn't weigh today, but it's been a hell of a journey, and to my delight, I was, as you know, I've always, well, if you're watching the first time, you don't know jack shit, but I've always worn, I've always had a beard and thought it's because I really liked it. Turns out now it was maybe to hide a bit behind. And it's funny what we do. I hadn't had a haircut for a long time and my hair was coming down to about here. And yeah, in hospital, my hair didn't do so well. And I just thought, no, get it cut. I'm really glad I did. Taking the beard off has taken a lot of years off. I'm thinking about taking the mustache off. It's weird though to see that I've got a face and that I've got a bit of a neck. I feel scrawny. I know it's not, but I feel scrawny around my neck. But it's nice to see I don't have this big bulbous chin like I did. I lost a lot of weight around my stomach, especially around my sides as well. Like there's still a lot to lose, but people who know me and know me for a long time, for them, this is the lightest I've been in like 23 or 24 years. So anyone who's known me for a long period of time has really not known me this light. And it's been pretty awesome. I got sick, really, really sick because of all the medications I was put on. So I got admitted to hospital again for another 5 days while they tried to troubleshoot that, which they have. And since then, I've gone down 3 sizes in my jeans. I've gone from 2XL to 3XL shirts being skin tight. This is a 2XL top. Sorry if I'm moving the microphone. And now it's way too big for me. But it's like how many times are you going to buy clothes? I don't have the money, so I'm going to wait till I lose a ridiculous lot more, probably in another 10 kilos time. Then I might buy a couple of new things to wear. Jeans I have bought because I bought cheap ones. But little things that you've got to take into consideration if you have this operation is you need to have about, I personally recommend between 100 to 120 grams of protein a day. You can buy flavorless protein powder that you can add to just about anything. I've been doing that. I've been eating well. You go through different stages where you can have clear liquid through a straw. Then you have other liquids that are not necessarily through a straw, like soup and the like. Then you go to a puree diet. Follow these steps. I see online so many people don't follow these steps. And basically what happens is your stomach is stapled to be a certain size, about the equivalent of 3 or 4 tablespoons. And people are straight away trying to eat too much. They vomit. They have a thing called the frothies, where basically the food froths up and out because the bile can't handle it. So you're vomiting. Thank God at the moment I haven't experienced that. I've been really careful. I'm scared of eating too much. So I do try to monitor. I've had a bit of pain when I've overeaten slightly. So I'd hate to think what happens when people really go to town on themselves. Drinking too much, you can't drink and eat at the same time. You've got to space that sort of stuff out. But overall, losing the diabetes, fuck yeah. I don't mind if I have to set a timer for when I can have a drink of water and then I can eat food, if it means that I'm not going to hurt myself more with the diabetes. So it's been one heck of an experience. I've got a little bit more confidence. Like I said, getting rid of the beard. I know it took years off my appearance. I like a beard though. I don't know. I might grow it back, or I might wait till I'm a little bit older now. I don't know. But all these things I think have allowed me to rediscover myself and get to like myself a little bit more. And hopefully it's noticed by people who love me and the people I love that I'm making a massive effort, and that I'm doing it to stick around and be on the planet a little bit longer, and that my intentions are pure and genuine about it. Because this operation, if you ever think that someone has had this operation is cheating, think about what got them to where they were. Their love of food, whether it was for comfort, addiction. In any case, their love of food took them to this place, and they've had this operation, takes that addiction from them. They may still look at food and want it. They can't do it. If they do, they risk really serious internal injury. So whenever you think of, whenever you see a person who's had some sort of gastric operation, whether it was a sleeve, a bypass like myself, shut the fuck up. Just know that they have had to really, really make a sacrifice of probably something that's keeping them sane to achieve a result that benefits them and the people that they love by them being around a bit longer. It's been hardcore. It has not been easy, and it continues to not be easy, because imagine you go from being like as big as I was and needing X amount of energy to get through your day, and all of a sudden I have to think really carefully about my food and what I eat so as I have an energy to get through my job. I work in a warehouse. It's a physical job, and I have to really plan my day. Otherwise it can get to the point that you can't, like if I'm doing something and I'm lifting boxes or moving things around and I can't lift a fucking box over my head because I didn't eat the right things, it's really hardcore. So if you're considering this, make sure you do get all the help you can. Speak to a psychologist. If you know someone who's going through it, please support them. And yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much for not leaving me on YouTube. My TikTok family, thank you so much. This video goes for too long for TikTok, but I'll do a little ad beforehand that is on TikTok to encourage you to come over to YouTube and check it out. If you haven't followed me before, I do lots of fun stuff and I'll try to get back into a bit of a routine, but I wanted to talk about this and explain why I haven't been online, why my poor Patreons should just stop giving me money at the moment, and that's about it. I love you guys and I just wanted to be on camera and let you guys know, but especially my family and those I love. I love you. I plan on being here for ages, and I hope that you guys are enjoying the new me as much as I am. I didn't expect to enjoy myself as much as I am, but it's been one heck of a ride, and I'm glad that I'm here to share it with you all. Thank you so very much, and I'll see you whenever I can be bothered doing something else. All right, bye. Ta-da!